Good evening and welcome to Highland Regional High School, as today we'll bring you 2025 South Jersey High School field hockey action between the Cumberland Regional Colts and the Highland Tartans. My name is Colin Morris. Thank you for joining us today on Tartan TV. We have an excellent matchup for you today on this Thursday afternoon. So we'll talk about, it's just me today as well, so no color commentary here tonight, so it'll just be me. But we'll talk about Cumberland first, right? They're coming off of a 1-17 season. Their last win back on October 23rd of 2024 at Buena. It was a 6-0 win. And Coach Lindsay Carmen will enter her third year as the head coach with a 3-29 record as head coach. She is a Cumberland graduate of 2007. And, for Cumberland, they returned their leading scorer, junior Elena Maleta. She is a 2027 graduate. She had 10 goals in 2024. She has 16 career goals and 6 assists. And she had the hat trick against Buena in 2024. She had 3 goals that afternoon. In terms of the goalie for Cumberland, it's a little bit of a different cast this year. So it was Blue and Warburton last year for Cumberland, as they split most of the time in 2024. However, this year it is freshman Jayana Jones who has took over the role for the first 2 games of 2025. In their first 2 games, they were 0-2 with a 3-2 loss to Gloucester Catholic on the 3rd and an 8-0 loss to Delsey on the 8th, both at home. They're on a 5-game losing skid, but look to end that today at Highland. Now we'll move over to the home Tartans. Coach Sean Wells entering his 4th year of head coach of Highland. He has an 18-35-3 record as the head coach. They're coming off a 6-11-1 season in 2024. They have many returning players, only graduated 3 senior players. They lost their leading goal scorer, in Rebecca Keith, and starting goalie A. Marissa Caputo, as well as Bailey Friedman, who is a Camden Catholic transfer in her senior year due to injury. Did not play as a Highland Tartan in terms of field hockey. Now attends Delaware Valley. Another loss for them is Liliana de Belmont to Paul VI and Caitlin Young, who is a senior this year, as neither of them are no longer on the team. So the big question for Highland is who's going to step up offensively. It seems like senior Giselle Lampkin, through the scrimmages in the first 3 games of the year for the Tartans, is going to be that person. But it obviously has been shown that Teresa Schaefer, Kirsten Heverly, and Emily Keith can all prove that they can contribute as well. So far, as mentioned, it's the Highland Tartans are 2-1 through the 2025 season. They had an 8-0 loss at home to open the season. Last time Tartan TV was on air, that was our football broadcast. It was that same day, on the 4th. They had an 8-0 loss to Cedar Creek, and a big 3-0 win the following day, the 5th, that was the next Friday, at Ewing, and then they had a very exciting 2-1 win at home on Monday against Pennsauken. So let's talk about the history of this matchup for a little bit. Highland swept last year. They handed Cumberland 2 losses, 2-1 in the first matchup back on September 16th, 2024. Noelle Opperly scores twice in the win, as graduate Mackenzie Davis scored the only goal for Cumberland. And then on October 9th, 2024, it was Highland completing the sweep at home. Opperly and Heverly both scored. The sophomores at the time and graduate Rebecca Keith scored late in the 4th quarter with Schaefer on the assist. So, obviously 2 wins last year for Highland that were big for them, and even though they split back in 23 and 22, Cumberland swept in 2021. So a pretty even playing field through the last couple years for both teams. But that'll be it for us for the pregame show, as the teams will meet. The captains will meet. On the side of Cumberland, it will be senior Emily Wolf and junior Alana Maleta. And for Highland, it will be, I believe it's going to be Kendall Cena, Kirsten Heverly, and Teresa Schaefer. So the captains will meet with the refs as they will exchange handshakes there. They'll go over the rules, and we'll step aside for just one moment. We'll be back. We have coverage when we come back. We will have a 4 o'clock start time. It's Cumberland at Highland. as we welcome you back to Highland Regional High School. Once again, if you're just joining us, you're watching Tartan TV's presentation of South Jersey High School Field Hockey. It's the Cumberland Colts visiting and the hosting Highland Tartans, as we will get underway in just a moment here as the captains have met with the refs, and we will begin action in just a couple moments here. So, talking to, Coach Lindsay Carmen, she is obviously excited for this year. It's just another year of experience under her belt. Talking about the leaders of her team, Emily Wolf and Elena Moletta. And, she is big on the divisional matchups. She's trying to improve and grow that focus each game that she talks about. This is a big one for both sides. Obviously, Cumberland had their first divisional matchup with Delsey, which that was an 8-0 loss. But that was back on the 8th, But for Highland, this is their first divisional matchup, and it's a big one for them. If they can get started 1-0 in the division, it would be huge for their standings. They're sitting at 2-1 right now, which is one of the better starts they've had in the recent years. So very exciting for the Tartans. As a quick coaches meeting here, the refs are ready at midfield, and we're going to get going shortly here at Highland. So the players will take the field here as Highland looks like they'll start with the ball as the home team. It's Lampkin in the middle, the senior. The leading scorer so far for the Highland Tartans. As I check in with the goalies, and we're ready to go from Highland. 60 minutes of high school field hockey on Tartan TV. We're underway. Lampkin over to Heverly, the junior. The captain over to Keith. Keith on the far side, trying to move up, a deflection and a whistle. And it'll go Cumberland's way, I believe. And no, it'll say Highland ball. So it'll be Schaefer on the far side. Takes the hit. It's in the middle of the field. Over to Cumberland. Here comes Opperly. Opperly, the ball is taken away by Mia Custard of Cumberland and now taken up by Cumberland. That was Pierce, the midfielder, now by Lampkin the other way. It's on the near side. Lampkin coming up on the left. Lampkin looking to make a man miss and doesn't. Coming back the other way for Cumberland. It's taken by Custard. Kustner up the other way. A good pass. On the near side, near the fans. Coming up on the right side. A deflection back. That's to Pierce of Cumberland. A whistle. It'll stay Cumberland's ball. Custer up the middle to Comarote, who knocks it away. A little bit of a collision, and we will have a corner on Highland. So the first opportunity to score here for Cumberland as a deflection off the feet. And it'll be Mia Custer to hit it in for Cumberland. The whistle blows. Here we go. A shot from just outside the circle. Now a deflection is knocked away. And another whistle, and it will be another corner, I believe, and it will. As that one was on the Highland defender. And another inbound from Custer. A shot from just outside the circle, and off the goal and out of bounds. And a missed shot there, and Highland will take over. So an early chance for Cumberland on the back-to-back corners, but nothing going as Schaefer will now hit it out looking for Heverly, but it's intercepted once again by Cumberland, and obstruction on Cumberland, and will go the other way. Schaefer, another hit up the far side. It's right past Keith. As she gets to it, it's off the foot of Cumberland, waiting for a whistle, none. Keith up the far side, having some trouble, and now obstruction again, and will stay Highland ball. On the far side, it's intercepted by Cumberland. Now a fight for the ball here. It's Cumberland and Emily Keith still on the far side. It's Keith all alone. Schaefer and Heverly waiting. Now, I believe that's Amani Holmes coming up. And it is. Excuse me, Maya Holt, the junior. Now Heverly. And going Cumberland's way. So plenty of whistles early here. Cumberland will keep it. Still going up the far side. A good pass up, intercepted by Maya Holt. Holt fighting. And will go Cumberland's way once again. So 3 whistles in a row, 3 Cumberland favors. Looking for a pass there, no, deflected by Holt. Playing defense there is number 2, Opperly. And another whistle going Cumberland's way again. So they'll keep it moving towards the Highland goal. A shot attempt there, intercepted by Comero. That's Adriana Comero. And now going Highland's way. Finally gets a whistle going their way. And it'll be Schaefer once again, the senior captain. Second consecutive year as captain for Teresa Schaefer, as another obstruction call on Cumberland. So a lot of whistles early here for either side. And it will be Schaefer again on the hit. A deflection from Cumberland. Now it's Lampkin on the near side. Lampkin out to the left. Now tries to take it back in. Trips over Cumberland player, and now going the other way for Highland. Nearly intercepted by Heverly, now taken up. That's Custer again. Excuse me, that was Alana Maletta. And now a fight here for the ball. Let's see who comes away with it, and it's Opperly, and she gets the win. So it's the obstruction on Cumberland, and it'll go the other way for Highland. It's Schaefer again on the hit. A good pass up to Lampkin, and Lampkin on the near side, it's intercepted again. Going the other way, good pass from Custer. Custer to Maletta. Maletta trying to get by Heverly, does. And Heverly the fight and wins it, and now going the other way, an obstruction on Cumberland again. The turn feet is the call. Heverly, a poor pass up the near side of Custer. Custer trying to take it in. It's deflected just outside the circle. And now it's Emily Keith taking it the other way. Keith in a fight, taking it up the middle of the field. And obstruction on Cumberland, and got the feet. So Emily Keith will continue to move the ball up. It's a good pass up the top for Highland. It's intercepted again. A battle now on the near the Cumberland bench. And a whistle. That was Alina Hazel, the freshman. And a good pass to Opperly there. Just outside the Highland circle now. Trying to get to it is Lampkin and Opperly. Now it's Heverly, a swing and a miss. And coming back the other way for Cumberland. Coming back this well. No whistle, and now a whistle. And it will continue to go Cumberland's way. So Cumberland dominating time of possession so far early. As it will stay Cumberland ball. A deflection by Heverly, another whistle. The obstruction's on Heverly. And the ball will continue to move in the Cumberland direction. Another obstruction on Highland. It will continue to go. It's outside the circle, so no corner. 11 minutes to go in the first. As that ball is deflected by Lampkin and now to Heverly. And a good pass by Heverly up the field. Lampkin unable to get there. And now Giselle Lampkin, the senior, trying to move it. It's obstruction again, and will continue to move. And here comes Schaefer. An attempt to knock it up the field. And a good hit there, but it looks like it'll be brought back as that was considered dangerous by the officials. And it will. As that ball is deflected and taken up, and it's stolen by Lampkin. As Lampkin on the near side going up the left side. In a fight up the field and still taking up the left side. Lampkin looking for the circle. Getting close, and obstruction on Lampkin, and will come the other way for Cumberland. So a little bit of possession all for naught for Highland as it'll come the other way. And that'll be Skomsky on the hit, but it's intercepted by Lampkin right away. Nearing the Highland circle, it's deflected away. Here comes Keith, and nothing. Trying to get some movement for Highland, but nothing going, as Opperly just dropped her stick, and it will come back towards us, as it's off the foot of a Cumberland player. That was Custer, and will now get in the circle for Highland. So an early opportunity here to get something going. It's deflected off Heverly, trying to get to it. No. Now Lampkin on the near side. Lampkin fighting in the circle now. Nearing the out of bounds mark, and they said it did touch that back line. So it will be Cumberland ball as they'll try to catch the Tartans offside here. But it's intercepted early. And now here goes Custer. And now Schaefer and Custer will go at it. And now it's Opperly, and the obstruction is on Opperly, and will continue moving for Cumberland. Now it's intercepted by Heverly. Heverly and Keith, and will go Highland's way. If you're just joining us again, Tartan TV's coverage of South Jersey High School field hockey. 8:28 to go in running. And the first quarter of play between the Cumberland Colts and the Highland Tartans. That's Emily Keith, the junior, on the far side, taking it up. Near that out of bounds mark, waiting for a whistle, doesn't get one. Now coming back the other way, it's Keith again. The younger sister of Highland graduate, class of 25, Rebecca Keith, was their leading scorer, as talked about pregame. And the ball will go Cumberland's way. It's off the foot of the Highland defender, and will continue to move for Cumberland. It's Custer. Custer in the circle. Custer, it's right to Schaefer, who knocks it away. Still in the circle. Custer, another attempt, knocks away this time. Custer again in the corner, and it will be a corner on Highland. So the third corner already for Cumberland, as they've very easily dominated time of possession here with 7:30 to go as the clock is stopped. It will be Custer on the pass in. She gets it off to Maleta as it bounces right over her stick. And now a long shot from outside the circle to number 11, Melanie Mengaloria. And it was off the foot of Highland again, and another corner. So plenty of corners early for Highland as they continue to look to get the time of possession back, as that corner was unsuccessful out of the circle, but here comes Cumberland again, and another foot. And so it's outside the circle, so it won't be a fifth corner for Highland early. But a shot from outside the circle here, and obstruction on Cumberland, and will go Highland's way. So 4 corners early. 7 minutes to go in the first quarter as we wind down time. Lampkin moving on the near side. Lampkin, one man to beat, and does. Lampkin in the circle. An early shot attempt here for Lampkin. Here comes the shot. It's no good and deflected by the goalie. And now a corner as Lampkin went barreling into the goalie, Johnson. Nearly a dangerous collision there, and a corner was called, but now it's been retracted by the officials. And it will go Cumberland's way before it's intercepted by Emily Keith. And it will stay Highland's ball. Got the stick, yells the official. And Keith will take it after 5 yards. It's up to Highland, Keith, looking to get any kind of room and doesn't. And now going Cumberland's way once again. So no 5 yards were given, which means Cumberland will have to redo that. It'll stay their ball though. As Keith on the near side there. And now we'll go Highland's ball. So Schaefer will come up to hit it again, the senior captain. As mentioned before, 5:40 to go in the first quarter of play. As Lampkin nearly got it by, but now it's to Keith. And going Highland's way. So Keith and Heverly combined to keep it going Tartan's way, and now Heverly going up on the far side. As it was deflected, looking for a whistle, there's none. Heverly nearing the circle, and it's out of play and going Cumberland's way. So a defensive game early. An excellent save by Jayana Johnson early on off Lamkin's shot after taking a barreling tumble into her. No save attempts early for the Highland starting goalie, Carly Wildermuth, and another whistle here, and I believe it'll be Cumberland's possession. And intercepted by Heverly again. Heverly looking for a pass right into the circle. Just outside the circle, and now we'll go Cumberland's way. So anytime Highland's able to get any kind of momentum going here, it seems to be kind of shot down early on for Cumberland, as it's in a circle and coming in, says the official, as it won't be a corner. A little bit of miscommunication here for Highland early. Now it's Heverly moving on the far side before it's intercepted by Cumberland. And now coming back. That's Keith fighting on the far side and coming into the circle once again. So the ruling on the last whistle was they were in the circle. It looks from up here that they were, as that one goes out of play. But an interesting call there from the official, as it'll be Cumberland's ball coming out. And that will end the first quarter of play. So no score early. It was 4 corners for Cumberland, but no shots attempted and no saves by Wildermuth. It was a great save by Jayana Johnson, but so far no score at Highland. It's Cumberland 0 and Highland 0. And we welcome you back to Highland Regional. Tartan TV brings you coverage of South Jersey High School field hockey. It's the Cumberland Colts and the Highland Tartans. We have no score as we're through 1 at Highland. And we thank you for tuning in as an excellent divisional matchup early on in the season here. Cumberland, as talked about earlier, Cumberland lost their first divisional matchup last week to Delsey 8-0, but Highlands, this is their first of the year, and it would be huge for them to get a win. As talked about, Coach Sean Wells said how, that's a big one, and Cumberland's always a decent team that they'll play, so any team in your division is a good game most times, so it would be big to pick up a win here for the Tartans. And so far, Cumberland's been dominating the ball possessions, so we'll see if Highland get anything going here in the second quarter. And early on, Lampkin taking one up just inside the circle, makes a couple girls miss, and now is intercepted by Cumberland. Trying to see what number that is. It's number 12, Jaden Robinson. And now it's Lampkin coming back this way. And a whistle outside the circle, but it will stay Highland ball. As waiting for someone to come up and get it, and it's Heverly on the near side. Heverly off the foot of a Cumberland player. That was a whistle, and will stay Highland ball, but now coming back the other way. That was Mendoloria fighting with Heverly, the freshman. And an early fight, and a whistle, and will stay Cumberland's ball. Coming up the side, nearly in the face for Maletta. But Maletta will take it all the way up. Custer meeting her in the middle of the field. Makes two girls miss, nearly intercepted by Holmes. And now a clear shot here, and a great save by Carly Wildermuth. That was Maletta, the leading goal scorer, with the first shot attempt of the day for Cumberland, and Schaefer will clear it out. An obstruction called on Cumberland, so a corner, but an excellent save by the junior goalie Carly Wildermuth early on in the second quarter. As only one shot attempt on each side for both teams, as here comes the corner out from Custer. A long shot to Custer. Wildermuth, another good save, and deflected out, and will go Highlands' way. So an excellent defensive stand for the Tartans, as Wildermuth with two excellent saves in the circle, and will come back out as a good hit there by Schaefer, and will head down the other way. There's Lampkin getting there. Only two girls on the near side. It gets by one of them, and finally comes back, and a whistle, an obstruction on Cumberland. So coming up is Upperly. Upperly in the circle now, looking for Lampkin on the near side, and a corner, the first of the afternoon for Highland. So we talked about in the first quarter, it was four corners, ironically, for Cumberland, a fifth early on, and now the first for Highland, as it'll be Schaefer to hit it in. It's Keith on the near side. We'll see where she goes to. It looks like it may be Emily Keith. The official checks with the Colts in the cage. Make sure they're good. Schaefer waiting. The whistle blows. It's a pass out to Heverly. Heverly to Lampkin in the circle, and will go Cumberland's way off the deflection. So an early missed opportunity for Highland, as it'll come back the near way. It's Emily Keith fighting with Maletta. No whistle at first, now we do. And it will go Highland's way. It's Schaefer with a strong hit up towards number 4, Alina Hazel. And there'll be obstruction on her and going the other way. Hazel fighting. Another deflection. Hazel somehow stayed with it, looking for anyone to pass to, just outside the circle. And another whistle going Highland's way. So Hazel fighting early. And now out to Lampkin. An early shot attempt here, and no shot taken. Now it's Heverly just outside the circle. Over to Hazel. Hazel now to Opperly. And we'll go Cumberland's way off the obstruction. No score here, Cumberland and Highland. Just under 9 minutes to go in the second quarter of play. As we talked about, as Hazel was fighting there early on, Alina Hazel, the sophomore, one of the young talents, as Coach Sean Wells described, as well as Adriana Camaro and Dion Viscoso, the freshman. 3 of those players making early impacts in their varsity careers. As Opperly will fight on the near side as obstruction on Cumberland, and it'll be Heverly to take it up. A good pass there, nearing the out of bounds range. We'll see if it gets there. It doesn't. Opperly will fight just outside the circle, and now it's Lamkin. Lamkin makes one miss, and now deflected out by the Cumberland defender. It will be taken up on the near side by Cumberland, and here they go, as that pass was to Custer, on the near side. And Custer, a good pass up the field, trying to get back for it, is hold as she does, and now a fight here with Miletta. Now Miletta, the pass to Rossello, and Rossello fighting over to Schaefer now, as it will go Highland's way, as Miletta and Schaefer battle, and Schaefer wins the battle. Now right to Custer. And whistles from both sides. It'll be obstruction on Cumberland. And Schaefer will pass it up to Keith. Now Keith over to Hazel, and we'll go Cumberland's way. So early on, no score. Defensive game, much like the game on Monday against Pennsauken for the Tartans, where it was scoreless through 3 quarters, before 2 scores in the 4th for Highland to win that one 2-1, as discussed earlier. But Cumberland in firm possession of this one, coming up the field, now intercepted by Opperly in a fight, and now it's Lamkin, a whistle, and will come back Highland's way. No score, 6:45 to go in the 2nd quarter, as Opperly up top. No one really around her. Lamkin trails, but a battle one-on-one here, and we'll see who wins it. And a whistle, and it will be Opperly, and Highland will keep possession. As here comes Schaefer. Schaefer, the hit, deflected off a Cumberland player. No whistle, even though it hit her foot. And now it's going to be Heverly fighting in the circle, looking for anyone. No one there, and will be a whistle awaiting the call. And it will stay Highland's ball. The ruling was outside of the circle, apparently. But now it's a good pass from Schaefer up to Heverly. Heverly in the circle, fighting in a corner. So the 2nd for Highland, as they'll get another early opportunity to put one on the board. No score through just over a quarter and a half of play. As it'll be Schaefer to hit it again. It's Keith, Maya Holt. Excuse me, that's Amani Holmes. And then it'll be Opperly, Lamkin, and Heverly in the middle. This one goes to Keith. It's deflected off her stick. Now to Holmes. A good pass to Heverly in the circle. Looking for a shot is Kirsten Heverly. The shot is blocked by Johnson and will go out of bounds on Johnson and will stay Highland's ball. Jayana Johnson is someone that Coach Lindsey Carmen talked very highly of as a freshman goalie, making her first start. Excuse me, her 3rd start, but her first starting year, obviously, as a freshman at Cumberland Regional. The whistle was on Highland, but will stay their ball, as there's Keith in the circle fighting. Keith, as that ball is dragged away by Emily Wolf, the team captain, and now a whistle on Highland, and now a whistle on Cumberland. So we'll come right back Highland's way. It's Heverly all the way on the far side, nearing the main road of Highland, as coming back up with it is Miletta. Miletta fighting with Holmes, now to Opperly. Opperly coming up the near side. Here comes Custer. Mia Custer over to Miletta. Miletta with Schaefer and Opperly, and it's intercepted by Opperly. And trying to make a breakaway is Noel Opperly, the junior. And a whistle and going Highland's way once again. Time running low in the second quarter, under 4 minutes now. Roughly, as Schaefer, as this may be the last attempt for Highland to get something going. As it's been a quick first half so far, so we'll see if that continues. Just a couple corners for Cumberland and 2 for Highland, and that's been it, as the whistle will be on Cumberland, as it'll be Alina Hazel on the far side, now to Heverly, and we'll go the other way. That was Keith, excuse me. Cumberland will retain possession on the far side. Cumberland looks to take it up. Trippage of, looked like Heverly, and now is intercepted by Schaefer on the far side. And now we'll continue Highland's ball. Doing our best up here to see, when it gets a little hard on that far side, to see the numbers and see what players have the ball, as we are broadcasting from the booth, if you couldn't tell. So basically from our streaming, our broadcast on last Thursday, a week ago from today, basically just turned everything around, as the field hockey field is conveniently behind the football field on the booth side. And on the far side of the football field is the soccer field. So we're working on getting some soccer broadcasts going, but on Monday, October 10th, we'll have coverage of soccer senior night, and that's boys and girls. Coverage starts at 4:30 for us. The game is at 5 for the girls soccer, as they were at Cumberland yesterday for a game. As this one is on the far side, hit up by Heverly, looking for Keith, can't get to it in time. It's Lampkin as well. Now Opperly on the coverage with Custer, and Lampkin wins the battle. Lampkin flicks it up towards the circle, looking to beat the girl to it, and does for the moment. Now Lampkin makes one girl miss, makes another, a shot attempt here on Johnson, and it's blocked. Another excellent block by Jayana Johnson, the freshman, and a whistle, and it will stay Highland ball outside of the circle, as Heverly taking it around the circle. It's hit into the circle. Keith there, and deflected back out, so Cumberland will look to take it their way. Under 2 minutes in the first half. Kind of reverse roles here, as Highland had dominated time of possession in the second quarter with Cumberland in the first, and now it will stay Cumberland ball. Taking it across midfield, looking for defense there from Holt and Holmes. Now it's that's Custer with a pass to Miletta. It's deflected off Miletta's stick. Conroe couldn't get it properly, and now some shoving there from Schaefer. Looks like an elbow from the official, and it will stay Highland ball. So Schaefer, as time winds down to about a minute here in the first quarter. Whistle going Highland's way, so a last attempt here for the Tartans in the first half before we head to halftime. That's a good hit from Schaefer. Keith looking to get there. It's a swing and a miss by the Cumberland defender, and Keith on the far side. One last attempt here before half. Keith is deflected and will come back Cumberland's way quickly. As there's Rosello, and we'll go Cumberland's way once again. As time winds down in the second quarter. Deflected there by Schaefer. The pass up to Keith. Keith, good stick work there. Moving up, looking for Hazel. Alina Hazel looking for a shot inside the circle, and it's intercepted by Cumberland, as it's Keith nearing the circle. One last attempt here for Highland. A good pass into the circle. It's Hazel again. Hazel with the fight on the near side, on the far side, excuse me. Out to Keith again. And we'll go Highland's way. So just outside the circle, Highland just missing out on a couple corner opportunities here at the end of the first half. And now coming back out Cumberland's way. As Schaefer and Holt on the defense. And now Schaefer fighting. No score again. If you're just joining us, welcome Welcome aboard. It's South Jersey High School field hockey between the Cumberland Colts and the Highland Tartans as the second quarter winds down. And there it is. So to halftime we go. No score between the Cumberland Colts and the Highland Tartans. So far, it's been the Colts dominating in the first quarter, but in the second quarter, it's been Highland dominating. So a very even playing field here between a division rival as both teams will step aside for about 10 minutes for halftime, as we will do the same from Tartan TV. It's no score at Highland. We'll be right back after a short break. As we welcome you back to Highland Regional High School, Tartan TV is bringing you coverage of South Jersey high school field hockey between the Cumberland Colts and the Highland Tartans. It's a 0-0 game at halftime as we bring you back to the field. Cumberland will start with the second half. The goalies have switched nets, and for Highland early it's been Lampkin and Heverly with a shot and Lampkin with 2. Wildermuth has 2 solid saves, and Jayana Johnson with 3 saves, and Kussner and Miletta are the only 2 on Cumberland with shot attempts early on here. So we're back as there is Schaefer with a strong hit up the field looking for Lampkin, and it's intercepted again by Cumberland. So a very even game so far. And now coming Highland's way. Heverly was looking for Lampkin again, doesn't get it there. As we'll talk about it again. We've talked about it so far as that was a quick halftime there. But Jayana Johnson has just been so excellent today as Lampkin was close there. Heverly trying to get it back now. That's the true freshman, and now we have a corner. So a early attempt here in the second half for Highland, but just as I was saying, Jayana Johnson so far, the freshman, obviously she's been the only goalie on the staff this year for Cumberland to record a stat, so as the pass is out to Heverly to Lampkin, as that pass is deflected and Lampkin goes down. So we'll wait for the call, and it'll be Cumberland's ball. But Highland a missed opportunity once again, and will come back the way for Schaefer. Schaefer nearing the mid side. Schaefer nearing the out of bounds mark. And a good pass from Schaefer up to Aaliyah Hazel, And Hazel to Heverly. Heverly nearing the out of bounds mark. Now Heverly in the circle, back out to Heverly from Lampkin, and now we'll go the other way. Cumberland a pass, it's over to Rosello, the forward, and now over to Hazel. Hazel, a good pass in the middle to Upperly, the shot no good, blocked by Johnson, and a corner for Highland. Was waiting for the call there. Just a little difficult to see from the ref, but a corner, another excellent save by Jayana Johnson. And now it'll be the 4th corner of the game for Highland, as the time of possession has been dominated by them early on here in the second half. The pass is to Lampkin. Lampkin just outside the corner. Lampkin to Heverly. Heverly looks for a shot, it's no good. 3 defenders there. It was Holt, Lampkin, and Heverly unable to get there, and now it'll be another corner for Highland, their 5th of the game. So here's Schaefer. Over to Opperly to Heverly. Heverly looking for a shot. Heverly, the shot is deflected off a stick. Jayana Johnson, another save, obstruction, and another corner for Highland. So 3 corners, 3 saves for Jayana Johnson, and Highland will try again. Schaefer, another pass, this time to Heverly. Heverly just inside the circle, a long shot, deflected, and in! A goal for Highland as they have struck first in the second half. It was deflected by a Cumberland player, but it's Kirsten Heverly, the junior, with the goal, her first of the year, and Highland has taken a 1-0 lead. So Highland strikes first in the second half as that pass is over to Schaefer, and it's deflected again by Miletta. Now over to Rizzello. Rizzello, as that ball is hit past Holmes. Holmes, one of the better defenders for Highland, as that one's deflected by Rizzello again. Rizzello and Upperly wins the battle as it will go Highland's way. Here's Miletta, good pass to Custer, a shot attempt early for Wildermuth, and it's deflected away. A save for Carly Wildermuth, as Cumberland came right back down following the Heverly goal and nearly got one back themselves. So it'll be Cumberland's ball after the deflection by the junior goalie Wildermuth, and the official indicates to back up. That was to number 11, the freshman Melanie Mendolora, as that passes in the circle and deflected by Heverly. Now back out to Mendolora, and that is Alina Hazel on the deflection, and now Schaefer with a good pass up to Hazel. Up in that kind of rough spot, as that's a very solid pass from Teresa Schaefer. And now it's Hazel taking it up. Hazel made a couple girls miss, and now coming back the other way for Cumberland, and it's another whistle. So it will go Cumberland's way. As if you're just joining us, it's 1-0 Highland with under 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. A goal by junior Kirsten Heverly just a few moments ago has given the Tartans the 1-0 lead. As right on cue, Heverly intercepts the pass, deflected off a Cumberland player, and now they'll say it'll stay Cumberland ball. That was off Moreno, excuse me. Ali Moreno, as that one is passed up by Lampkin. Lampkin unable to go far before the ball is deflected and will stay Cumberland. As here comes Mendoloria fighting with Opperly, I believe, and it is, and Opperly wins the battle. Excuse me, that's Keith. That is Emily Keith, as that ball is deflected. It will stay Highland ball. Keith fighting through a couple, still going for Highland. And another whistle, and will stay Highland's ball. Emily Keith with a couple wins there, as Heverly will take over on the near side. A good pass there to Emily Keith. Keith now over to the defender on Cumberland. That's Emily Wolf, the team captain, as the sun shines over Highland for the first time this afternoon. As there is Rossello over to Wolf, and Wolf trying to get it out of there, the senior, the deflection, and will stay Cumberland ball as Wolf got the deflection off Keith. And now here comes Lampkin on the far side, Giselle Lampkin. And now another corner for Highland. So another corner here for Highland, as there's Schaefer on the pass. The shot attempt from Holt over to Keith. Keith in the circle fighting. Now it's Heverly again. Kirsten Heverly, the shot on goal. It's deflected by Jayana Johnson and will come out Cumberland's ball. As time will wind down on the third quarter, here comes Heverly, one last chance here. And a corner called on Cumberland again. So the Tartans really dominating the time of possession here in the second half. Early, obviously they have the one goal by Heverly. And now here's the pass from Schaefer. Schaefer to Heverly, to Keith. Now Keith to Lampkin, off the deflection of Wolf. Here comes Lampkin, a shot, and a great save by Jayana Johnson. Another attempt by Opperly, and there is Hazel nearly getting one as well. A fight right in front of the goal, and a call on Highland. And will go Cumberland's way, as that ball will get hit out of bounds as we get close to the end of the third quarter here. It's Schaefer on the near side. A pass deflected off Cumberland and will stay Highland's ball. Schaefer will do it again. And that one's up to Lampkin. As Lampkin over the stick of Schaefer, now to Holt. Maya Holt. And now we'll keep going. Heverly on the near side. Heverly deflected to Lampkin. And now it's intercepted once again by Cumberland. Now here comes Heverly. Heverly looking to the middle, and it's off of a Cumberland defender. But before that, it's another corner for Highland. As we get close here to the end of the third quarter, as the pass from Schaefer out to Heverly. Heverly to Opperly. Opperly, the shot deflected. A shot on goal and in! Alina Hazel with the shot on goal, and it's good, and Highland has taken a 2-0 lead. So as the third quarter winds down, Hazel gets the goal. It's her first of the year as well. And Highland has now gone up 2-0 as Cumberland retains the ball. The first goal of the young career of Alina Hazel. As Cumberland will try to get something going here as the third quarter slowly winds down. As there's Schaefer over to Opperly, and nothing doing for Highland. As this one continues to move in the direction of Cumberland, it's Maletta. Maletta on the near side, now in the circle. Defense by Holt, deflected by Adriana Comro, and now a chance on goal here for Cumberland, but will go Highland's way. So a solid defensive job there by Maya Holt and Adriana Comro. Comro, the sophomore, Holt, the junior. And now it's a good pass up to Lampkin before it's intercepted by Taname. Now Taname up the field over to Maletta. Maletta makes one miss. Maletta looking for a shot on goal on Wildermuth, and a corner for Cumberland. It's their first of the second half, and now they'll have a shot to get one back and cut this lead in half. So now a chance here for Cumberland to get one back early before the fourth quarter starts. Here comes Comro, and it's a deflection from Holt, and a shot on goal and in. And no, they're going to say it wasn't. So they're going to say it's a corner before it went in the net. And Cumberland is robbed of a goal. As a near goal there for Cumberland. But it's taken away due to the corner. And that ball right over the stick of Cumberland. Comro was there. Now another shot, and going Highland's way after the back-to-back corner. So Cumberland got it in, but it wasn't able to stand, and Highland will retain the ball as here comes Alina Hazel moving up. Hazel with the goal, the one of two goals, as here comes Lampkin. Lampkin and Hazel up top. Lampkin off the foot of a Cumberland defender and will stay Highland ball. As Heverly will bring it up the near side. Heverly looking for a pass in the middle. Plenty of room. Heverly off the stick of a Cumberland defender and will come out to Highland ball. A good pass there to Keith. Keith makes one girl miss. Now Lampkin, a shot attempt, and behind the net, and some yelling coming from the sidelines. Not sure what's going on there, but a missed shot attempt by Lampkin, and it will go Cumberland's way. As that one's taken away by Emily Keith, and now taken right away again by Cumberland. And now it's Maya Holt fighting with Rosello, and now it's Adriana Comerode on the near side with a hit and wins the battle on defense, and it will come back Highland's way. There's Schaefer on the hit as that one got a little bit of the dirt, and now to Keith. Keith moving, the ref made a signal but no whistle. It will go Highland's ball. Here comes Lampkin. Lampkin, a shot attempt on the way. One man to beat it, it's Wolf, and the horn blows, and it will end the third quarter. So, 2 goals for Highland. It's Kirsten Heverly and Alina Hazel. Through 3, it's 2-0 Highland. And we welcome you back to Highland Regional High School. South Jersey field hockey at the high school level. It's the Cumberland Colts and the Highland Tartans. The Tartans lead the Colts 2-0 heading into the final 15 minutes of play. Colin Morris on the call today. On the crew, it's Joey Madden, Adam Famelli, and Cole Welker. So appreciate the guys being here for our first ever field hockey broadcast on Tartan TV. To stay updated on everything, Highland, follow our socials. Instagram, Tartan_TV, on X, Tartan TV_. So, 15 minutes left of regulation. 2-0 Highland. Goals by junior Kirsten Heverly and sophomore Alina Hazel as we're underway in the fourth quarter. As here comes Heverly, it's swung on and missed in a battle with Maletta here, and Heverly wins it. So looking for someone down the field, and she gets Lampkin on the far side. Lampkin trying to fight. Lampkin nearing the circle, and now a corner for Highland. So another corner for the Tartans, as really since that first quarter that Highland has completely dominated the time of possession. A little bit of a slow start for the Tartans, but other than that, it's been all Highland here in terms of possession. They've only cashed in on 2 goals by Heverly and Hazel. But now it's Heverly on the long shot. It's deflected by Mendaloria, and Mendaloria coming up on the far side with the mask still on, and now a whistle, and she's just going to keep the mask on as she continues up the far sideline. So here comes Heverly on the far side. That was Upperly, excuse me. And now, fighting for that, down near the goal. And it will be coming out Cumberland ball out of the circle. And we'll go Cumberland's way. So the first call of the fourth quarter for Cumberland, as that will finally get across midfield. Here comes Amani Holmes on the far side. One of the senior defenders, and now multiple whistles here, and Cumberland will retain the ball. So a pass deflected by Holt, and now the pass up by Schaefer. And a tumble there on the far side for a Highland player. A little difficult to see who that was. Looks like it was Heverly though. And now, Schaefer unable to win the battle. There's Maletta up the far side. Over to Maya Holt in the first corner for Cumberland since the second quarter. So finally a little bit of possession for the Colts here late in the game after being dominated in most of the second and third quarter. But now a chance to cut that lead in half with one shot here. There is Custer on the pass out too. As there's Maletta in the circle and another corner on the obstruction on Teresa Schaefer. So that was to Rosello and then to Maletta before the corner was called, and they'll switch sides. There's the pass out to Maletta. Maletta shot. It's off the stick of Camaro, as that was considered dangerous, and now going the other way for Highland. 11:20 to go. Tartans lead 2-0. A hit from Schaefer before it's intercepted by Maletta, but it doesn't matter as the feet return and obstruction is called, and it will come back up for Upperly, and now another whistle, and will stay Colts ball. So trying to get something going is Cumberland. They've only scored 2 goals on the year, both against Gloucester Catholic last Monday. As trying to get one back here as that ball is deflected over the net of Amani Holmes. A shot by Maletta, deflected, and a shot, and it's good! A goal for Cumberland, as the lead has been cut in half. As I believe that was Ceres Pierce, the midfielder for Cumberland, and they've cut the lead in half. As here is obstruction on Cumberland, as Heverly and Keith were both there, as the sun will hide for the moment, which is good for our camera. But here's a good pass from Cumberland, but right out of play. It's Highland 2, Cumberland 1. 9:40 and running to play in the fourth quarter. a divisional matchup. A good pass from Heverly to Keith. Coming up the near side, Keith makes one miss. Near that out of bounds area, Keith still moving. Running through absolutely all of them, then a trippage there, and Keith goes down and will stay Highland ball. Some good stick work there from junior Emily Keith, and now it's Heverly on the near side. And here comes Cumberland back the other way. That was Taname, but now it's Lambkin coming the other way, and the ball goes out of bounds. We'll see whose ball it is. I believe it will be Highland, waiting for the official to indicate, and it will be Highland. So Lambkin with a good pass towards the middle. There's Wolf, the senior, deflects it, and another corner for Highland. So the clock will stop with 8:44 to go. And another corner for Schaefer. Here comes the pass out to Lambkin. Lambkin, the long shot, it's deflected and out of play. So nothing doing as that ball will be thrown back in as the JV team gets ready to play. However, our coverage will conclude in about 8 minutes. As here is Keith. And obstruction again, and that one is on Keith. And coming up on the near side, there's Rossello. And Rossello wins the battle and will keep going. There's Schaefer. Schaefer, a good pass. Back to Rossello, and a deflection off the chest of the player, and now going the other way, that's Taname and Keith were fighting, and now there's Kendall Cena who just checked in. And here's Kirsten Heverly. The pass from Schaefer, and obstruction again on Heverly. So we'll continue Colts ball. A 1-goal game, 2-1 Highland. There's Schaefer as they look to hang on for just under 8 minutes to go here in regulation. Maletta, pass is intercepted there by Upperly, but doesn't matter as Upperly obstructed and Cumberland will continue moving. About 15 feet from the circle. There's Mendaloria in a battle. There's Upperly, loses the battle. Now deflected off the stick of Heverly. Over to Rossello. Rossello in the circle, a shot attempt. And deflected on a stick of Highland. Then it's Amani Holmes. Rossello fighting, and will go Highland's ball. So the Highland defense steps up Amani Holmes on the deflection to keep the shot on goal from happening. And Highland will try to send it the other way as that pass was deflected out of bounds by a Cumberland player. And will stay Colts ball. Under 7 minutes to go now in the fourth quarter. 2-1 Highland. That pass over to Maletta. Maletta. And it draws the corner inside the circle. So a huge opportunity here for the Colts. Down one. Possibly one of their last shots to get one on the board. And in their attempt to get a win on the board here and prevent themselves from going 0-3 to start the year. Cumberland trying to snap their 5-game losing skid dating back to last October. That pass is deflected. A shot on Wildermuth, a good save. Another shot, and it's in! Alana Maletta, the leading scorer for Cumberland, and this game is tied at 2. And a timeout called by Highland. With 5:40 to go, the clock will stop. Cumberland has just tied the game at 2. with under 6 minutes to go in the fourth. We'll step aside for one moment. We're knotted up at 2, Highland and Cumberland. Following the Highland timeout, we welcome you back to Highland Regional. Tartan TV broadcast South Jersey High School field hockey. It's the Highland Tartans and the Cumberland Colts. Highland went up 2-0 early before a goal from Sarah's Pierce of Cumberland, and on that last goal, it was a deflection, so we'll wait for the official ruling on that one for Cumberland. But nonetheless, it's a 2-2 game. It'll be Highland ball. Just under 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter of play. Here comes Heverly on the near side. Heverly, obstruction by Maletta, and Maletta obstructs again. And it will stay Highland ball after 2 whistles, and Heverly will get ready to launch it up the field. Cena's up there, Keith as well. Coming in from the far side is Opperler, as Maletta and Keith fight for it. That ball stays in bounds as Heverly looks to get it by Custer, and does. So now going the other way. Heverly raises one and was ruled a dangerous pass, and will go Cumberland's way. So Cumberland will gain possession. It's Custer. Mia Custer, who was one of the people in the mix of that deflection goal by Cumberland to tie the game. So we'll see if she gets credited with that or not. But now it's Heverly, an obstruction by Cumberland. That's Taname, the defender. She's been all over the field defensively today. And here comes Heverly. As someone unhappily shouting from the Cumberland side, I believe. Now here comes Keith, as her stick was pulled by a Cumberland player, and it will stay Highland ball. So here comes Keith on the near side, taking it to the middle. Keith looking for any kind of room, doesn't get any, and a corner was initially called and now taken back by the official, as it was just outside the circle by a couple feet. And now here comes Keith again. Makes one girl miss, see if she can get another, and doesn't. And now looked like another corner was referenced, but apparently not, as it will stay Highland's ball. Heverly with a pass in the middle. It's off Lampkin's shin, and we'll go out of play, I believe, on Giselle Lampkin. And they're going to say it was deflected off a Cumberland defender instead. So now it'll be Schaefer taking it up, looking to drive through 2, and it will go Highland's way. That's Moreno on the defense. Now it's Heverly. Heverly going right around, looking to get it on the middle. A good pass to the inside for Cena. Here comes Johnson out of the goal to get it. A shot for Highland, no good. Johnson got back in the goal. What a defensive play by Cumberland, and now a corner is called by the official on the near side. I mean, Johnson had to be a good, 8 to 10 feet out of the net, and that was just an excellent defensive recovery by the Colts, and hold Highland short for right now. We'll see how long that's able to last, as Schaefer will pass it in for Highland. It's right to Heverly. Heverly trying to get in the circle, makes one girl miss. Now coming back in the middle, Heverly right in the middle, a shot and good! Kirsten Heverly again, her second goal of the night. And Highland has retaken a 3-2 lead with just over 2 minutes to go in regulation. And now here's Cumberland looking to fight back immediately in the circle. And will go Highland's way as time continues to run down. A pass from Schaefer up to Cena. Cena and Lamikin there. Cena, the ball is deflected off her stick. Now deflected off Keith, and Keith wins it, taking it up the near side. And here comes Maletta, getting here to the circle here. And a whistle, it will stay Cumberland's ball outside the circle. Time winding down, a deflection off Highland, and will go the Tartans' way. So lots of energy coming from that Cumberland bench, as that one is deflected again. That is Schaefer getting it up to Cena and Keith. Keith wins it. Keith going the other way. Here comes Emily Keith. Lambkin to her left. A good pass to Lambkin. A wide open breakaway. Giselle Lambkin, the shot on Jones, and blocked again. Jayana Johnson, another solid block. Another save for this Cumberland defense, as she has had an excellent day here at Highland Regional, as that pass is over to Upperly. A whistle here and going Cumberland's way. And there it is. The horn blows and the game goes final. Highland wins it 3-2. A last-second goal for the Highland Tartans, and they defeat the Colts at home for the third time in 3 appearances. They get their first divisional win of the year. And that'll do it as an extremely solid victory for Highland, a little closer than they would have wanted it to be against Cumberland, but a win nonetheless for Highland. They improved to 3-1, and Cumberland will drop to 0-3. And the teams will shake it up here, and we'll take a quick break. We'll be back with post-game stats. Highland wins it 3-2. And we welcome you back to Highland Regional High School as the JV game is about to get going here. We'll only keep you for a couple of minutes. We'll talk quickly about the varsity game. It's a 3-2 win for Highland. Kirsten Heverly, the player of the game, honors with 2 goals. She had 3 shots. She scored on 2 of them and leads the game with 2 goals. And the go-ahead winner in the 4th quarter for Highland, also with a goal, Alina Hazel, her first of her career, her young varsity career. And Jayana Johnson on the Cumberland side was also very solid in the net. Obviously let up 3 goals, but had over 10 saves today for Cumberland and made some very acrobatic ones as multiple times Giselle Lampkin was on a breakaway and they were able to kind of limit the damage there. But Highland comes away with a divisional win, a 3-2 victory. Kirsten Heverly scores twice. It's Hazel scores once. For Cumberland, it was number 10 Pierce on the first goal, and then it was number 7 Alana Mileta, the leading goal scorer. She improves to her 5th goal of the year, her 17th career, as I said, 5th of her year. And Heverly gets her first 2 of the year, and Hazel obviously her first. So that is all we have for South Jersey High School Field Hockey on Tartan TV. From the entire crew, Mr. Jordan Elliott, our advisor, Joey Madden, Adam Famelli, Cole Welker, my name is Colin Morris. Thank you for watching. Highland wins it. Field hockey, 3-2. The Tartans come away with the win. We'll see you next time on Tartan TV.